वेलकम टू बायोअकाडेमी में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज हम पढ़ेंगे प्लांट किंगडम। दिस इज द चैप्टर फ्रॉम क्लास 11। इन दिस चैप्टर वी स्टडी ऑल द फैक्ट्स ऑफ प्लांट किंगडम। आज हम प्लांट किंगडम के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। Along with this discussion, we study the frequently asked question from this chapter. Also, the most probable MCQs which can be asked in NEET exam. Also, we discussed in the final part of this video. So, don't skip and study well. Make notes in between and study hard. Okay, let's begin with the chapter. Here we study the plant kingdom. As we all know, plant kingdom means it contains the plants. Plants are autotrophic, photosynthetic organism. They can synthesize their own food, and also they can produce oxygen to the environment, and they are looks like a green because they contains photosynthetic green pigment, and also they have distinguished features like root, stem, leaves, and also the vascular system for their conduction. Along with they produce flowers and they produce seeds for their reproduction. Okay, here in the plant kingdom there are wide varieties of plants. We can see we study primitive plants to the advanced one. Here the primitive one is algae. From algae to we studied to the level of higher plant. As we all studied in the previous class, there are 5 kingdom of classification is present. This classification system was proposed by Robert Whittaker in 1969. According to this classification, the living organisms are categorized or classified into 5 groups, that is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia and Plantae. In Monera, we study the prokaryotic organism, that is there is no nuclear envelope in them. Okay, then the next we study Protista. Protista includes unicellular eukaryotic organisms like amoeba, paramecium, etc. Next, another group is fungi. In fungi, they are all eukaryotic and mostly they are multicellular in nature. Then next category is the Animalia. Here Animalia is the multicellular organism and they lack the cell wall. Okay, and it includes from sponges, insects, fish, bird and mammals also. Then next is the Plantae. Here plants are, it includes plant. They are multicellular and they contain cellulosic cell wall structure, but it is absent in the animals. Okay, they are all autotrophic and it includes mosses, ferns, conifers, flowering plants and also algae. Okay, in today's class we will discuss about the kingdom Plantae. आज हम plant kingdom के बारे में discuss करेंगे. The kingdom Plantae again categorized into 5 groups: algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. ओके, हम algae से शुरू करेंगे. ओके, algae. What are algae? Algae are chlorophyll bearing, simple, autotrophic and mostly they are largely aquatic in habitat, means they live in fresh as well as marine water bodies or water system. Okay, the algae contains chlorophyll pigment. They can synthesize their own food, so they are autotrophic and they are in aquatic habitat. They mostly present in the water bodies. Okay, then where we find these algae? Most of the algae, they are present in moist surface. Moist surface may be a stone or soil or wood surface, but the condition is it must be a moist one. Okay. Sometimes some of the algae, they are associated with the fungi. These are called as lichens. Just remember this terminology. This point is very important. Algae which is associated fungi, the association is called as lichens. Okay, that organisms are lichens. Sometimes the algae also associated with the animals. कभी कभी the algae animal के साथ भी जुड़कर वो जीते हैं. For example, the corals are present, which is animal which is associated with the algae. On sometimes some of the algae, they are associated with the marine sponges. So they may be, most of the time they are all mutually benefited or mutually relationship. They are maintained with the fungi, even plants or even animals. Okay. Next, the structure or the body of the algae is called as thallus. Not only algae, in case of fungi, in case of bryophytes, the body structure, the structure or external appearance or structure is known as the thallus. It is the singular word. The plural form is the thalli. Okay, just remember the terminology. It's an important point. Then most important thing is these algae can synthesize their own food. So it is the primary producer in the ecosystem. They form the primary producer in the ecosystem, so that it forms the base of the food chain. These primary producer is consumed by the herbivorous. Then these herbivorous which is consumed by the carnivorous. Okay, so let's like that the food chain goes up. So here the algae is the primary producer. Then let's moving to the morphology of the algae or the characteristic of algae. Algae, they present as unicellular organism. Means only one cell can make all the physiological functions. Like the example for this unicellular algae are Chlamydomonas and Chlorella. Okay. Here the Chlamydomonas is a unicellular algae with flagella. Okay. This is the structure of Chlamydomonas. And it is the Chlorella, structure of Chlorella. These are all the each Chlorella thalli or the body. Then they may be a multicellular in volvox. Multicellular means they contains many cells. In case of volvox, they present in colonies or in groups. See here, this is the individual thallus of the volvox. These volvox forms the colony. They present in groups and it is called as volvox colony. Okay, they forms the colony with the cytoplasmic fibers and synobium structure they forms and produces a circular colony. So volvox is present in circular or present in groups. Okay, this is the example of multicellular and colony forming algae, that is volvox. Sometimes they may be present as a filament like thread like or chain like structure we can observe. For example, in Ulothrix it is present as a chain. So here each cell is joined and form a chain like structure, and in Spirogyra also the similar we can observe here. The each cell is joined and form a chain like structure. Okay, they are present in filamentous form. Then sometimes some algae are looks like a higher plant in the marine system, that is in sea water, under sea, they appear like a higher plant, but they are all algae, not like the vascular system. For example, kelps, it is present in the marine system and they looks like a higher plant. Okay, then let's moving to the reproduction in algae, how they reproduce. reproduction is very important, right? It's a very important feature. So for sustain of the organism. So how they reproduce? They reproduce by vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, as well as through sexual reproduction. Okay. Vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is through fragmentation. What does this mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation, which is observed in the filamentous or any multi-cellular algae. That means here the septa is formed in the between cells, so they become two cell by the formation of the fragments. They cut and each cell grow into individual thalli. Okay, individual thallus. Okay, each cell next goes to the individual thallus or individual organism. So by formation of the septa and by formation of fragment, these fragments let then grow into a new individual thallus. Okay. So vegetative reproduction is through fragmentation. Next one is asexual reproduction. Here there is no sex organs are involved. Asexual reproduction is carried out by the production of asexual spores. Asexual spores are zoospores. These zoospores have the flagella. So these flagella helps in the movement in the water. So they produce from the asexual spores are produced from the sporangia of the organism. Then they release and they swim in the water and they germinate and give rise to a new algal thallus. Okay, in Chlamydomonas and most of the algae they produce asexual spores, that is called as zoospores. Okay, then the next mode of reproduction is the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves the production of gametes. Plus and minus strains are present, or male gametes and female gametes are involved in the sexual reproduction. Here two types of gametes are required. Okay, there are two main conditions also there. One is isogamous, which is observed in Spirogyra and Eleutheryx, where the two gametes, male and female gametes, both are similar structure and similar size. They are motile and they look alike. They both are same in structure and sizes. And another type is the anisogamous. Anisogamous means there are different type of gametes are present. That is, if male is motile with flagella, but female is bigger than the male gametes and they are all non-motile. This is observed in case of volvox, fucus and idoria. We can observe the anisogamous condition where the two gametes are different sizes. One is motile as well as another one is the non-motile. Here in case of isogamous, both gametes are similar size and the shape, and if they are motile, both are motile. If they are non-motile, then both are non-motile. But in case of anisogamy, one gamete is motile and it contains flagella, and another gamete is the non-motile and it is bigger than the male gametes. Okay, it is also called oogamous, means it is female gametes are produced in the oogonia, that is oogamous, where the non-motile female gametes are produced where. Okay, this is the production in the algae. Let's moving to the economic importance. What's the importance of this algae? Why it is important in the ecosystem? Okay, first point is they fix the carbon dioxide by the process called as the photosynthesis. Okay, they produce oxygen and they consume carbon dioxide through the process of photosynthesis, because they are all autotrophic and they produce their own food. Okay, so this so that they become a primary producer. So they are the primary food source for the organisms, higher organism. Most of the species, like more than 70 species of algae, are consumed by the humans also, because single cell proteins, which are sargassum, porifera, laminaria, spirogyra, chlorella, these are all the algal species are consumed by the humans because they are rich in protein. So humans are consumed as a single cell proteins, okay, as a protein supplement. The humans are consuming these algae. More than 70 species are consumed by the humans also. In commercially, most of the products are observed. Agar it is the commercial product which is produced by the red algae, Ladium and Gracilaria algae, and it is the and it is used as a solidifying agent in the microbial processes, like microbial media in the laboratory. Also, these agar is used as a gelling agent, or used in a formation of production of jellies as well as in ice creams. And another one commercial product is the algin. Algin, it is used, derived from the brown algae. Another one is the scaragin, which is obtained from the red algae. These are all two substances are hydrocolloids, and they are used for the holding the water substances. So these are two are commercial product which is used as a large scale or production. But commercially we produce these derivatives from the algae. So these algae are most important due to these economical importance. There are three main classes are there. So three main classes we observe. One is Chlorophyceae, and one is Phaeophyceae, and one is the Rhodophyceae. Chlorophyceae is the green algae, and Phaeophyceae is the brown algae, and Rhodophyceae is the red algae. Okay, let's study each class in some details. Okay, आगे हम Chlorophyceae के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae are three major classes of algae. Okay. Chlorophyceae. Why they are Chlorophyceae? Why they are green in color? Because they contain chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigments in their chloroplast. Okay. The chloroplast, they contains one structure called as perinoids. Perinoids are the storage bodies. Like algae, they store their food in the storage body. The storage body is called as perinoids. They contain proteins. In Chlorophyceae, they store their food in the form of protein, so that human consume this protein as a single cell protein for protein supplements. Okay. And we observe different shapes of chloroplasts in the Chlorophyceae. Let's see the shapes here. See here, we observe cup-shaped chloroplasts. In some algae, we observe like Chlamydomonas. In may discoid, like discoid shaped, or they may be a C-shaped chloroplast, or it is ribbed like, or they may be a network like reticulate. They forms a network. Okay. And spiral, like it is observed in Spirogyra, they are in spiral shape. Okay. Then stellate, like star, you can see the star here. Stellate shaped chloroplast also we observe. But it is the colony of wallworks. The example for Chlorophyceae is the wallworks, Ulothrix, then Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, Chlorella are the example. See here we have, this is the structure of wallworks and Ulothrix. And then if coming to the cell wall structure, in the Chlorophyceae there are two layers. Inner layer is made up of cellulose and outer layer is made up of pectose. Just remember this terminology, these are all important. Okay, the cell wall is two layer, outer layer is the pectose and inner layer is cellulose. Then the reproduction, how they reproduce? Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, like fragments they form, and each fragments grow into new algae. Then asexual reproduction, they produce flagellated zoospores. in the zoosporangium. So they produce zoosporangium. Inside the zoosporangium, zoospores are produced. These zoospores are flagellated. That means they have the flagella and they show the movements in the water bodies. Then sexual reproduction is isogamous, maybe or the anisogamous or eugamous. Isogamous means both the gametes are similar size, shape. Anisogamous, one is small, one is big, one is motile and another one is non-motile. Example for Chlorophaceae is the Chlamydomonas, Wahlbergs, Eulothrix, Spirogyra, Chara, etc. ओके इज दैट क्लियर बच्चों? अभी तक क्लियर हो चुके हैं ना? अब आगे बढ़ेंगे. नेक्स्ट इज Phaeophyceae. Algae, most of the brown algae are present in marine habitat. Okay, marine means saltwater habitat, not a freshwater one. But Chlorophaceae, most of them are freshwater form. Pigments, what are the pigments are present? Most importantly, pigments are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids, and most important pigment for brown color is the fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin is the very important pigment which is present in the Phaeophyceae. Fucoxanthin. Okay, this fucoxanthin is responsible for the formation of brown color. Here in this algae also their storage body is there, that is perinoids are there. They contains carbohydrates, not protein. The protein was observed in the Chlorophaceae, but in case of Phaeophyceae it contains perinoids. Perinoids contains carbohydrates, namely laminarin or mannitol. Okay, mannitol is a type of carbohydrate which is present inside the chloroplast. Chloroplast containing storage body mainly contains carbohydrate, that is mannitol or the laminarin. This is also important point. So in case of Chlorophaceae we can observe that there is a presence of protein, but in case of Phaeophyceae it contains mannitol. And then most of the Phaeophyceae are branched and filamentous. They look like a higher plant body, like kelps. They grow about 100 meters also. So big sized algae we observe in the Phaeophyceae. The Phaeophyceae or the brown algae are present mainly in the marine habitat. These are all the example for the Phaeophyceae or the brown algae, that is Laminaria, Fucus, Dictyota. Then let's moving to the next class, that is Rhodophyceae. Rhodophyceae means red algae. These red algae they contains the pigment system, that is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll D, along with the phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin means red color. So these pigment is responsible for the red coloration of the algae. Then another one is the storage body. Perinoids contains special starch that is known as floridine starch. Okay, body contains the storage food, that is the floridian starch, and the spores are non-motile. Okay, here in case of Rhodophyceae, the zoospores as well as the zoospores what are produced during the asexual reproduction are non-motile. Okay, then in sexual reproduction also the gametes are non-motile. Okay, both the zoospores as well as gametes are non-motile. And the cell wall is two-layered one. Inner layer is cellulose, but outer layer is pectin and polysulfate esters. So reproduction, vegetative fragmentation, asexual non-motile spores are produced, and sexual reproduction by non-motile gametes. The examples are Polysymponia, Porphyra, then Gracilaria and Giladium. These two algal product is the agar. Okay, this agar is commercial product which is used in the ice cream jelly form as well as the microbial media preparations also. Okay, example of the red algae, that is Porphyra and Polysymponia. See, it looks like a plants only. They contains branches, main axis, etc., but they are non-vascular plants or non-vascular in nature. Okay, give you the complete distinguished features of the three classes of algae, that is Chlorophaceae, Rhodophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. See here common names are green algae, brown algae and red algae, as well as the major pigments chlorophyll A and B in Chlorophaceae, chlorophyll A, C, flucozanthin which is present in the Phaeophyceae, and chlorophyll A, D and phycoerythrin in red algae. Then stored food is also different. That is, in case of chlorophyllaceae, we will see the sarcin protein, and in case of phaeophyceae, it is mannitol and laminaria, and in rhodophyceae, which is the Floridian starch. Then cell wall, cellulose and algin, and in case of rhodophyceae, that is cellulose, pectin, as well as the polysulfate esters are present. In flagellar number, position and all, in chlorophyllaceae, most of them are flagellated. It may be a 2 to 8 equal and apical flagella we observe. In phaeophyceae, it is 2 unequal lateral flagella we observe. And in rhodophyceae, the flagella is not present. In the zoospores as well as gametes. Habitat, we consider the chlorophyllaceae, most of them are fresh water and brackish water or salt water. And in phaeophyceae also, we can see in the fresh water, blackish water and salt water. And here rhodophyceae, most of them are marine, but some are freshwater forms also we observe. Okay, with main important point is we require moisture for their growth. In kingdom Plantae, we study the detail about the algae, their type, their characteristic, their habitat, as well as their reproduction process also, and their economic importance. In next class, we study about the bryophytes. Okay. Go through the frequently asked questions about the algae. Okay, here define algae. They may ask define algae. What are algae? How we can define? The algae are largely an extremely diverse group of eukaryotic. They are eukaryotic organism, and they photosynthetic life form, or they are autotrophic, and these organisms do not share any common ancestor, and they are unrelated, or they are autotrophic, unicellular or multicellular eukaryotic organism. They synthesize their own food and they contain chloroplast. Okay, these are all feature of algae. Explain how algae are beneficial to human. Photosynthesis fix the carbon dioxide, it's a main advantage, and increase the dissolved oxygen level, so that they act as a primary producer of the compound high in energy. And it contains marine brown and red algae producer large amount by commercial hydrocolloids like algin. For example, it is produced by the brown algae, whereas carrageen, which is produced by the red algae, they have the commercial importance. Then many Porphyra, Laminalia, and Sargassum, Chlorella, Spirogyra species are we can eat as a single cell protein. So algae act as a food for humans also. Then explain the reproduction in algae. Algae are reproduced by asexual reproduction by the flagellated zoospores. In the chlorophyllaceae we observe the flagellated zoospores, biflagellated zoospores in the phaeophyceae. In brown algae, we can see the biflagellated or two flagellated zoospores, and non-motile spores in the rhodophyceae. In red algae, they produce non-motile asexual spores. Vegetative reproduction occurs through fragmentation in all the three classes of algae, and sexual reproduction in chlorophyceae and phaeophyceae is isogamous, means both the two gametes are similar in size, shape. Okay, both are motile. And anisogamous or eugamous, but rhodophyceae are oogamous. They produce two kind of gametes and have non-motile gametes. Both the gametes are non-motile. And what are the general characteristics of red algae, rhodophyceae? What are the general characteristics? They are made up of multicellular, filamentous and blades, apical growth complex, oogamy, and diffused growth pattern, that is triphasic. They look like a higher plant also. Okay. Then food is stored in the form of starch and galactan sulfide polymers, and their cell wall are made up of cellulose and variety of carbohydrate. This type of red algae is typically found in marine environments only, and the mode of nutrition can be a saprophytic, parasitic or epiphytic, and grows on the solid surface, and it is and its own or associated with the other algae. What is the Phaeophyceae or brown algae family? Brown algae contains chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, xanthophyll and fucoxants, carotenoids. Okay. Food is stored in the form of complex carbohydrate such as laminarin or mannitol. Then brown algae can be found in marine environment. They range in complexity from simple branched filamentous form to higher branched form. isogamous type of gametes and anisogamous type of gametes also present, or oogamous. Through sexual reproduction is possible, like ectocarpus, dictyota, laminaria, sargassum, and fucosa are some of the examples. Okay. What is the family of green algae or chlorophyll? Algae and green chlorophyll, they contains A, chlorophyll B, and these are all two primary pigments. The cell wall is made up of inner layer is cellulose and outer layer is the pectose. Then perinoids consist of starch and proteins. Chloroplast contains pigments and perinoids, and chlamydomonas, wallworks, Spirogyra, Ulothrix, Cara are the few examples. Then what are the benefits of algae? Algae have been shown about 50% of carbon dioxide they fix, and because they are photosynthetic, so they increase the oxygen content of their surroundings, and they are primary producer and provide food for many organisms. Many commercial products also we derived from the algae, such as algae, and they are all derived from the algae. Hello everyone, hello once again. Now we look forward to the main part, that is MCQs on the algae. These MCQs, they are most important MCQs. They may ask in upcoming NEET exams also. So let's begin with the MCQs on the algae. Okay. Which of the following statements about algae is incorrect? You first read question properly. Here they asked, which of the following statement about algae is incorrect? Not correct, incorrect. Okay, let's read the statement. Algae are chlorophyll bearing and autotrophic organism. Yes, the algae are chlorophyll bearing and autotrophic in nature. Then algae are exclusively aquatic organism. Exclusively aquatic organism. Algae can occur in moist stone, soil and wood. Yeah, moist stone, soil also we can observe the algae. And some algae live in associated with fungi and animals. This statement also correct. Then answer is algae are exclusively aquatic organism. Okay. Exclusively aquatic animals. This statement is incorrect for the algae, because algae, we observe the algae in moist stones also, soil also, and moist wood also, and some of them are associated with other organisms like fungi. They form lichen, or they may associated with the corals, sponges, etc. also. So not only exclusively for aquatic organisms. So the option B is the correct answer. Then second question, which of the following algae forms massive plant bodies in marine environment? Wallworks, Ulothrix, Pyrogyra, kelps. Exclusively those algae are marine in nature. The answer is kelps. Kelps are exclusively for marine. They form a vast massive plant body like structure in the marine ecosystem. Okay. The next question, vegetative reproduction in algae occur through spore formation, fragmentation, binary fission, gametes for fusion. The answer is fragmentation. The fragmentation, each fragment will give you a new thalli. Okay. Next question is, which type of spores are commonly produced during asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction they are asking, and which type of zoospore, aplanospores, zygospore, oospore. The answer is zoospores. Okay, zoospores are produced during the asexual reproduction of algae. Next one is isogamous reproduction in algae involves. Isogamous means both gametes are similar in size, shape. Okay. Fusion of two gametes similar in size and motile. Fusion of two gametes similar in size and non-motile. Fusion of two dissimilar gametes. Fusion of one large non-motile female gametes and smaller motile male gametes. The answer is fusion of two gametes similar in size and non-motile. Isogamous is the where both the gametes are non-motile. Which type of sexual reproduction involves fusion of one large non-motile female gametes and a smaller motile male gametes? One is large non-motile female and smaller motile male gametes. That is observed in the oogamous. Oogamous type only we observe that one is female is larger and non-motile, and one is motile and flagellated. Okay. Identify the algae that exhibit anisogamous reproduction. Anisogamous means two gametes are dissimilar or not similar in shape and size. Eulothrix, Spirochaera, Edoria, Fucus. The answer is Edoria. Anisogamous is observed in the Rhodophyceae, Phaeophyceae. This Eudoria is the one of the example of the Phaeophyceae family. Okay, so classes of algae. Here, which of the following pairs correctly matches the algae with its form? Volvox filament. Volvox is not a filamentous, it is a colony form. And Eulothrix, it's a colonial. No, Eulothrix is a filamentous one. Spirogyra, filamentous. Yes, correct. Spirogyra, it is filamentous. Kelps, unicellular. Not. Kelps is a vast marine algae which is looks like a higher plant. Okay, the correct answer is C. Next is, which of the following roles do algae play in carbon dioxide fixation on Earth? A negligible part, less than a quarter, at least half, or almost all. The answer is at least half. At least half of the carbon dioxide is fixed by the algae. Okay. Then how do algae contribute to their immediate aquatic environment? By producing oxygen. Where is the answer? By increasing the level of dissolved oxygen, or by decreasing the level of dissolved oxygen, or by decreasing the level of dissolved carbon dioxide. The answer is by increasing the oxygen. Okay. Then which of the following statement is true regarding the importance of algae in food cycle? Algae are primary consumer? No, they are primary producer. Algae are secondary consumer? No. Algae are decomposer? Oh, not at all. Algae are primary producer in food ecosystem or food cycle. The answer is D, that is algae are primary producer. The next question, which of the following algae is commonly used as a food supplement by space traveler? Space traveler, they use this as a food supplements. Answer is chlorella. Chlorella is a single cell protein produced from this chlorella, which is used as a protein supplement in the space traveler, because it's a high energy and for the traveling to the space. We can pack and we can take out to the space travel. Okay. The next question is, algin, a hydrocolloid used commercially, is obtained from which algae? Algin is used by the brown algae. Then agar, used in microbial culture in the culture media, and food preparation, is obtained from which algae? Porphyra and laminaria, sargassum and chlorella, or Gelidium and Gracilaria, or laminaria and sargassum. The answer is Gelidium and Gracilaria, which is the red algae. From this algae we derive or we isolate the agar. Then which class of algae does not belong to the three main classes mentioned? Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae, Cyanophyceae. Chlorophyceae is the green algae, Phaeophyceae is brown algae, and Rhodophyceae is the red algae. Cyanophyceae is the cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is not an algae, it's a prokaryotic organism. So answer is Cyanophyceae. Okay. Next question is, which pigments dominate in Chlorophyceae, giving them their characteristic green color? That is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Okay, B is the correct answer. Next, the storage bodies found in the chloroplast of most green algae are called as perinoids. Perinoids are the storage bodies. The next question is, which of the following structure is not a form of chloroplast found in green algae? Discoid. Yeah, discoid structure is observed. Plate-like is also observed. Then reticulate is also observed, and spherical form is not observed. Okay. So, how is vegetative reproduction typically carried out in green algae? Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation only. Which type of reproduction involves the production of flagellated zoospores in green algae? That is asexual reproduction. They produce zoospores which are motile in flagellated, and they are motile. Then which of the following green algae exhibit isogamous sexual reproduction? Isogamous sexual reproduction is observed in Eulothrix. Eulothrix, here we are observe the isogamous sexual reproduction. Then the cell wall of green algae is composed of, inner layer is almost cellulose, then outer layer is pectose. The answer is B. Which of the following green algae are commonly found? Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Eulothrix, and Spirogyra. The next question is, brown algae are primarily found in Which type of habitat? Mostly they are marine habitat. Then which pigment is responsible for the brown coloration in brown algae? That is fucoxanthin. Then what is the form of stored food in brown algae? In brown algae they are laminarin or the mannitol. Then next question is, the vegetative cells of brown algae have a cell wall covered by gelatinous coating that is known as algin. Okay. Which part of the brown algae plant body is responsible for attachment to the substratum? In brown algae they attach to the substratum by the holdfast. Then asexual reproduction in most brown algae occur through biflagellated zoospores. Zoospores are biflagellated. Which form of sexual reproduction can be found in brown algae? That is isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous form also observed in the brown algae. Then which of the following is not a common form of brown algae? Answer is Chlamydomonas, because Chlamydomonas is a green algae. Why are the members of the Rhodophyceae commonly called as red algae? Because they are red in color, right? Due to the predominant presence of the pigment that is phycoerythrin. Red pigment that is phycoerythrin. Then where are the majority of red algae typically found? They are found in marine environment, especially in warmer area. Then how do red algae store their food? They store their food in the Floridian starch form. Then which of the following is true about the reproduction in red algae? Red algae, they produce non-motile spores. You should remember that point. So vegetative reproduction occurs by fragmentation, because other options see like asexual produced by biflagellated spores. Red algae not produces the flagellated spores. Then sexual reproduction involves motile gametes. No, both are non-motile. Then sexual reproduction is isogamous. No, not isogamous. They are anisogamous or oogamous. Okay. Then which type of sexual reproduction is found in red algae? They are oogamous. Okay. What is the nature of the gametes in red algae? The gametes are non-motile. You should remember this point. In which region do red algae occur in the ocean? It should be a warmer condition, right? Both the well-lighted region, light should be in there, and at great depth we observe the red algae. Which of the following are common members of red algae? The red algae examples are Folly, Symphonia, Porphyra, Gracidia, Gelidium. We should remember Gracilaria and Gelidium is the red algae. They produce agar. Commercial product name is agar. Okay.